The story of my awakening. You are a freed, caged bird. I want to share a little story with you about how I became a freed, caged bird. My only hope is that you too will be able to open your eyes and see that you are free as well. Remember, it's all about your perception. May 18th, 2013. I laid on my bedroom floor of my apartment, swimming in my own tears and despair. My newborn son, who had been cut from my womb only shy 7 weeks ago, lay quietly in the other room on his father's chest, resting peacefully. He had no inkling of the fact that Mommy and Daddy were on the brink of a drastic change that was about to erupt. The floor. I just remembered the floor. Prior to this moment, I had managed to shower, to do my hair, to clothe myself, followed by ingesting some strong drink to attempt to ease the pain. The floor. As I lay in my tears, a visitor dropped by. I guess you could call him my frenemy. He always manages to show up when I'm very low, or even when I'm very high on life, filled with happiness and joy. He's so faithful and sticking by my side, unlike certain people. I could always count on him to be there when no one else decided to. He said, "My dear, I think that you are hurting again." Wow, did you really think that this time that you would actually live happily ever after? I was paralyzed, but I listened as he sliced my mind and heart at the same time. "You did it again. When will you learn that no one loves you? No one will ever love you?" I couldn't speak or move, but subconsciously, I was able to understand exactly what he meant, and it made a heck of a lot of sense to me. He used you, just like the rest. Now you're on baby number 3, and you have managed to find yourself alone again. You are pathetic. These words started to ring true as I laid in my tears on the floor, with my world spinning all around me. This is the end of the road for you. This one even took the time out to put a ring on your finger. Did you really think that he was going to marry you? Listen, my dear, I want to help you. I want you to go and get a knife from the kitchen and stab him. Stab him for how he hurt you. Remember how X, Y, and Z hurt you too? He was always great at reminding me of my past foul shots in love. I remember contemplating it. Well, it would feel good to make him feel the pain that he had caused me, but I know I'm going to end up going to jail. I'll lose my children, my family, my friends, and my freedom. People will say I had so much potential, and what a shame that I had to spend my life in jail. So, in my mind, I said, no, I don't like that option. He said, okay, fair enough. My dear, don't you feel this pain deeper than you've ever felt pain before? And I thought, well, yeah, I felt similar pains before, but this situation is just deeper, and my finances are tied up in it this time. What is your point? You've been known to break under pressure, he said. I present to you depression, mania, confusion, loss, and despair. You should just check out now. Let your mind slip away. You can always go into a mental hospital. That way you'll be away from people who hurt you. You know you want to. That actually doesn't sound too cool either. I think I'll pass on that. Okay, fine. Well, as you know, you're horrible at love. It shows because you have these children without their fathers by your side. You are alone again. You did everything for this one, yet he still was not satisfied with you. You are no good, unworthy, unlovable, and stupid. No one will ever want you. Do you really want to spend your whole life alone? I know you don't, but I know your future, and you will always be alone. Kill yourself. For a split second, I actually pondered the idea. I thought about taking my own life. In that moment, I was at a crossroads. I knew I had to make a choice. It was just me and him. I was hanging off the cliff by one finger. It would be easy just to let go and fall, but something inside of me rose up and cried out, "No, enough." I wasn't satisfied with those options anymore that were presented to me. I wasn't okay with picking up the bait that my frenemy gave me. In that very moment, I realized that I had a choice, and I chose life. I called on the Most High Creator of all things and asked him to come and help me, guide me, and show me the way. I was so tired. I was tired of all the letdowns. I was tired of all the pain and the tears. I was finally ready to trust the Most High's plan for my life. And just like that, in that war cry out, my frenemy disappeared and an eagle appeared. He wrapped his wings around me and flew me out of there. So I really have a choice. I don't have to accept those options. All those things that I was presented with aren't even real. They're actually just bait. I'm not really unlovable and stupid, as he always said that I was. The Most High didn't say much. He just agreed and said, yes, this is all true. It was all just a smokescreen, a parlor trick that you always fell for. But I knew one day that you would get it. I always believed in you, even when others didn't, even when you didn't believe in yourself. You are not weak. You are a survivor, and never forget that. You are loved, and you are love. The shells from my eyes fell away. My ears were open. My eyes were open. Clearly, I could see the cage that I was perched inside of, and I noticed that the door of the cage was open. But somehow in that moment, I knew that the cage had always been open. I took a deep breath, I spread my wings, and I jumped forward out of the cage. Spiritually, I was free. The floor. I remember the floor. I pushed myself up to my feet. I walked into the living room to see my precious angel baby, who had just been cut from my womb 7 weeks prior, sleeping peacefully on his father's chest. I reached out and I grabbed him and took him into my arms. I opened my mouth and the words rang like a clear bell. You have to leave. And I meant every word of it, not just to him that laid on my couch, but to every hurtful word anyone had ever spoken to me or that I had spoken to myself. This was a declaration that everyone that had ever hurt me had to go. All the pain, all the depression, all the low self-esteem and unworthiness, it all had to go. Everything that was a lie that I thought was true about myself had to go. And he left, and so did they. In that moment of great loss, something beautiful was birthed, and finally, I was a freed, caged bird.